GFE versus Immortals, and that was just hilarious through and through.
Johnny is just, he needs to get
when it gets to a certain point, Reinforce just starts to lose the comprehension of the English language. Bless him.
But usually I can see where Johnny's going. Right there, I had no idea what he was trying to talk
should
about.
Just be like, next time, Gill should just be like, Giant Man, what do you think?
But Johnny made a great point, though. He talked about no buts potentially on this Pharah in map number 1 and then in game number 5. If we see Ilios, I feel like he can make a difference in this series, and then potentially on the Widowmaker as well. Like we've seen him do in the past. So I think that was a great point by Johnny. I think you could see the Pharah come into play here on Oasis.
Personally, I'm hyped for hype. Hey, because I mean, we were talking about it so much, right? And I feel that, as do many, that Envy just wasn't really working out for this team. And, you know, Hyped has brought them success in the past. And, you know, I understand, you know, a lot of players are looking to bring Koreans into the fold and, you know, get them in. But just because you bring a player from South Korea over to a team doesn't necessarily spell success.
Well, look, I think for Immortals, you've just seen some really weird plays from them, right? You know, you're moving the payload, everybody jumps off the payload. You don't get back to the point on Ilios to contest. Like, it just seemed like much more of a teamwork, you know, oriented thing. You know, they just were not on the same page. So I think you bring Hyped back into the fold. You know, maybe he can, you know, give his teammates some more confidence as they go into this game. You'll see Hyped on the Diva here. Agilities will be running Doomfist, and I know for FNRGFE, you'll have Bonnie on the Sombra, so he's going to go bottom. Now hack this health pack. You're going to be able to just keep farming this, get that EMP.
Yeah, immediately going for the health pack is just such a great start. Most Sombras will look to do that here. And what do you have, X?
And you could see the Sombra as well being brought out from FNRGFE. On this point, we've seen him do it in the past, but also now that you know Agilities is going to be running the Doomfist, you know, Sombra, you can get those hacks off on Doomfist, can't use any of his abilities. Sombra very effective against Doomfist.
Clockwork just getting some more, I was going to say he's getting some info, just waiting for that time to push up. But you know what, you get the kill there on Agilities the boot, and that's certainly going to start things off on the good foot now. Grim Realities, though, not to be undone. He will be able to take out the Tracer as well as the Diva. But there goes the EMP so quickly, and that just forces everyone back there. And they're going to be able to establish control here on C. FNRGFE already getting this percentage.
Yeah, Bud's on the 76 though, and Hype does not have that defense matrix up. You see he was out of mech, then he comes back into the fight, he gets hacked. Bud's able to put down a lot of damage. It'll be Immortals using their Transcendence here, trying to keep everybody up on the point.
Yeah, but they're losing out, man. They're just getting dropped left, right, and center. Fate, low health as well. There goes the attack visor. Everyone's going to have to get behind cover here. And that is going to stop any kind of progress to being able to capture the point now. And they're just going to have their way with them. Push them back, get the kills, maybe get a couple, you know, just a little bit more poke, continue to build more on those ults.
I mean, now Immortals will not have a Transcendence, obviously, as you saw Kareev use it. They'll get the sound barrier. Now the issue is you have the EMP on the other side for FNRGFE, so Verbo does not want to initiate with that sound barrier because all of its effects are going to be taken off, and then FNRGFE would have a sound barrier of their own to use.
Let's see when the sound barrier will be popped. Pulse Bomb does go out, does lay down some damage onto the blue team now, but it will be 57% for FNRGFE. They're continuing to build it forward, build more percentage. Sound barrier on both sides. They took out Bonnie, so they knew that they were safe to be able to use the sound barrier, and now they engage into the fight. They're getting killed, but Coolmat gets 2, and that is going to tip the odds in the favor of FNRGFE, as there's just nothing that they could do, and those are those clutch plays that you just can't quite count on.
And Agilities takes Bonnie out of the fight right away. That's a great kill there. You get the EMP out of the way for the side of FNRGFE. You use your own sound barrier, but it was cool, Matt, able to pick up 2 kills with the self-destruct. You're able to stay alive long enough for FNRGFE. It's now Clockwork building up towards a Pulse Bomb. It'll be the EMP here from Bonnie. Think coming in shortly. He gets behind enemy lines, then he backs up. It'll be a Primal Rage here from Muma, and he grabs 2. You're going to have Coolmat getting into the equation as well, as it does not look like Immortals even going to get a good attempt here at the end. It's 99%. They get hyped over towards it. They get Agilities there as well. They're not able to get anything going. It'll be FNRGFE looking dominant there in .1 on Oasis.
That was a shellacking. That's what that was. Full control the entire time. Bonnie on the Sombra, just doing work. You know, you have a cool match is getting these clutch kills. That you know, again, it's just Immortals, man. They just don't have a groove, right? They just can't get a groove.
Let's see a replay here. This is the self-destruct that comes in from Coolmat. Hype forced to jump to the bottom. Grim Reality alive there as well, but you lose some players to that self-destruct. Very difficult to come back from. Both teams will go with the Far and Mercy combination here. You'll have Clockwork, stay on the Tracer. Same with Grim Reality. Everything kind of changes. Everything stays the same outside of the Far and Mercy for either side.
And Buds on Pharah has been, a talking point for this team. The Des covered it quite a bit. Very, very talented Pharah taken to the skies now, as players just looking to fill each other out, get some more control. Now you're going to get that dogfight in the sky. And Agilities, can he go toe-to-toe with the Pharah from FNRGFE? And now this is just pushing everyone back here. It's going to get a little bit more poke, just continue to push back Verbo. And so far, this is looking pretty good here for FNRGFE. They do have a bit more control, but they got to be careful not to lose out on their tanks. They're going to need their teammates to bring them back. Bonnie will have the Resurrect. And I was going to say he would use that one if they end up losing the tank so he can get that tempo res. But Clockwork and Buds on the DPS just doing the work that is necessary to get Immortals on the back foot and push them all the way here to establish control on A.
They have FNRGFE. They will get onto the point here. They will take control. Clockwork just forcing some of the members back for Immortals. Agilities has earned that rocket barrage. I'm interested to see how long they stay on with the Far Mercy. Trying to retake with that Far Mercy combination could be very difficult because now FNRGFE, you've built up your res, you've built up your sound barrier. You have a pulse bomb here for Clockwork and Cool Matt with that self-destruct.
Immortals are going to have that too coming into this as well. Keep in mind, you build that res so fast. Oh, they can't lose Verbo. They lost Verbo here, X. And that hurts, but the tempo res brings them right back. And that's what I was saying, right? The resurrection is going to come in pretty quick. Bonnie, though, with the tempo res on their Lucio as well. But now Verbo will be able to drop the beat, will be able to keep his team in this fight. Question is, are they able to get the kills? Agilities with the barrage does find one onto Clockwork, but Buds has his number in the sky. And this has just been all FNRGFE, the corn dogs over here, man.
Yeah, you use the res on both sides to bring the Lucios back into the equation because they both have sound barriers there. But it was Immortals who loses fate at the beginning. And now we do see Immortals to make a change. So they go off of the Far Mercy. Kareeb will go over to Zenyatta. Agilities will pull out the Genji. So 58% in counting in favor of FNRGFE. You still have your Primal Rage. Clockwork with a Pulse Bomb. Look to see, though, Budge trying to get in position to use this Rocket Barrage.
If he's able to lay down the barrage, it could be devastating for Immortals. 70% has been gained. They lose out on height, so now he can actually push in and use the barrage if he wants because he doesn't have to worry about the Diva. He doesn't need to because they're going to clear through and get the kills.
Yeah, I mean, Immortals just trying to get back. I mean, you lose some players at the beginning. Grim Reality now forced to switch onto the 76. So, if you are Immortals here, it's going to be very difficult because, look at where their supports are in terms of building ults. You're already at 90% for FNRGFE. You may not get your sound barrier. You're probably not going to get Transcendence either. And now you have Agility switching off. This is really coming down the wire, and you lose Kareeb already.
This is one fight that they need to win. The barrage is going to go out there. He does manage to get the kill onto Verbo early on. Overtime is going to be in effect. There goes the Diva Bomb. Does it get a kill? No, it doesn't. Tempo res onto Boink to keep the action going on the favor of FNRGFE. Goodbye, Hype. You're just not going to be long for this world. Fate going to be stuck in a corner. Have to pop the Primal Rage here. Maybe he's going to give his teammates an opportunity to re-engage into this fight now because the spawn is right there. It's super close. There goes the Diva Bomb, though, to push everyone back. And now that overtime's going to tick down. They lose out on Verbo. They don't get the sustain on the healing. Kareeb has to switch over to the Tracer. And in the end, well, it's going to be FNRGFE who stands tall here with a decisive 2-0 on Oasis.
And it seems like every fight that starts, FNRGFE is drawing first blood. That Immortals is not able to get a man advantage going into these fights. Seems like FNRGFE able to get the upper hand, whether they're able to get into the back line, take out Kareeb, whether it's Fate, dying at the beginning. You see the Primal Rage there coming in from Muma, able to knock 2 players off of the map. But at least there on Oasis, it seemed like the entire game you were either losing like Verbo, Kareeb, Fate first. For Immortals, you were never really actually able to force any good 6-on-6 team fights.
And things just start to get pretty dicey when you're like 60%, 70%, and you're switching heroes to just try and answer back. Gives you no time to build anything, no time to invest into the composition. And in the end, FNRGFE, man, they dominate Oasis. Guys, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, game number 2, where do Immortals decide to take us? Find out. Welcome back, everyone, as we get ready for game number 2 between Immortals and FNRGFE. FNRGFE did manage to take Oasis in dramatic fashion, just sweeping the floor.
Dominating.
Yeah, dominating Immortals 2-0. And now as we set our sights onto Numbani for map number 2, the question is, Immortals, can you pull it off? You tried to do this last week against Rogue. You took them to Numbani, which was Rogue's better maps in their rotation. So clearly they're confident in this map.
I guess. I mean, we haven't seen much great play from Immortals. I mean, the series at Rogue was close, but you could argue, both those teams slumping. Rogue, obviously, I think they're playing from Canada, maybe some kind of connection issues and whatnot with some of their games. But still, both teams in a little bit of a slump, trying to get out of it. Now, we have not seen great things from Immortals thus far this season. I mean, a lot of the times, and they're not making it easy on themselves, right? Like, they're not able to just kind of work for these first picks. They're not really kind of coordinating on their dives. It just seems to be a team all out of sorts right now.
Yeah, just really haphazard, right? Like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what happened. Immortals, Season 0 champions. Many coming into this, I'm like, oh yeah, no, Immortals, they're gonna shred through everyone. And no, they're winless. And
Season
still
0
winless.
champions with 0 wins.
Yeah. So, oh, that's done. that was a good one. All right, well, FNRGFE will be on the defense here, and let's see what they opt to use. Ideally, you want Muma on the Orisa, clearly. That is the 30-second song just running away in the bottom of your screen.
Muma galloping back towards his spawn there.
Use those 4 legs, girl. Get back there. There you go.
You would think with having 4 legs, she would have a little bit more mobility. I imagine if I had 4 legs, I would be double as fast as I currently am.
Nah, I think I would be equally as slow.
You probably would.
I would be. Just a sloth running through. All right, here we go. Immortals on the attack.
Yeah, and on defense for FNRGFE, I know Bonnie will run the Ana. You'll see Buds on the 76, so trying to control that high ground. We'll see if Immortals can coordinate some kind of dive to get up. They'll force him down from that position, as you see now. Kind of coming from this low ground, they're going to dive all the way up. Oh, and actually I was going to say, with agilities, you're able to make this dive happen because he's just such a great Genji. But look at the way the FNRG, they peel back. They just don't really give them any chance to be able to engage. Don't let agilities close that gap there. Well, Coolmat kind of meets fate in the midair, and he's not allowing him to get towards that high ground. So FNRGFE was able to hold it for a little bit. They're going to get a DMAC here on a Coolmat. It's going to be very difficult for FNRGFE to come right back into this agility. He's going to dive right through Coolmat. Here comes the pressure from Muma, getting right back onto the point now. Everybody else coming back into the fight for FNRGFE. And they have to keep Muma alive, but they're so close to being able to capture this. Just right there. Agilities with the kill onto Boink now, and the kill's clear for Immortals, and it seems like this is going to work out in their favor. All they got to do is just kind of, take out the rest of the trash here on this point, force them back, and, really, I do commend FNRGFE to continue to stall this one out, continue to delay, but they're not going to be able to delay it for too long. Boink comes in as well. Here comes some of the members of FNRGFE around the bend, but it won't matter all that much. Now, they just cannot allow Immortals to apply that pressure and force them back. Yeah, it's a good take there from Immortals. You're able to hold on to both your support ults, your Dragon Blade, and your Pulse Bomb. All you had to use there was Primal Rage, knock players back there. For FNRGFE, you have, getting close to your sound barrier here. You're not close to your Transcendence, as I know Bonnie just switches over to the Zenyatta. You're not really working close to Attack Visor here either, so we'll see if Immortals decides to use that sound barrier, get aggressive. Yeah, that was a whiff stick on that. They end up losing Fate as he dives in, but Agility is into the back line now, tries to get a couple kills onto the supports. And so far, it's just not been looking that great here for Immortals. They don't get much value out of that Dragon Blade. Agility's in between a they don't get
machine gun in a hard place. Yeah, they don't get any progress with this payload. So you use some ults there if you're Immortals. You don't really get anything for it. And that's huge, because now you've allowed Buds to build up towards that Attack Visor again. Boink still has the sound barrier. You allow Bonnie to be able to build up a little bit more towards his Transcendence. As it's a good fight win there for FNRGFE. So now Immortals, they're trying to get around this corner here, try and get back on the offensive. Look for FNRGFE to engage once again. They know that they have the upper hand here as far as the ultimates are concerned, so if things get a little hairy, they can opt to use them. They just want to make sure they protect their back line. There goes the beat on both sides here. A lot of music being played, but are the kills going to come through? Hype finds one onto Bonnie, and that is going to hurt because you had Bonnie really close to getting that Transcendence there. And now FNRGFE, they dominate the feed. They're, you know, yes, you do get some progress. You get it around the bend there, but this has just been clinical from FNRGFE. They just pick them apart one by one.
Yeah, I mean, both teams lost their supports. Coolmat able to get, you know, one kill, picks up Kareev with the self-destruct. Bud's able to pick up a kill as well. FNRGFE gets back towards the payload for this next fight. Immortals will have their Dragon Blade. See if they decide to use it. On the other side, though, FNRGFE, you're going to have that Transcendence to fight through it. You're also going to have Buds with that TAC Visor.
And I know that they would like FNRGFE to use that Transcendence when it happens. Oh, there goes the bomb. Nice play, but Bonnie, he will shut down Grim Reality, and now they eliminate Hype. So Agilities, does he opt to use it? Does he go into this and put the pressure onto FNRGFE? Goes to the back line. Boink trying to just get away. 3 seconds left onto the Dragon Blade, and he doesn't get much value out of that one. But while all that's going on, Immortals, they get the value out of those kills. So it does create that opportunity for them to use that to their advantage and pushes payload to second.
Well, once Immortals gets Bonnie out of the fight, you know there's no Transcendence to deal with that Dragon Blade. They use that ultimate ability. But now, you know, for FNRGFE, you still have, you know, the TAC Visor, just trying to get in a position where you can let Buds use this ability on the 76. Coming around the corner, you'll have Hyped with the defense matrix to really eat up a lot of that damage. So you got to get him out of that mech before you pop that. You see it's going to be Kareev in the backline using the Transcendence to keep everybody up, as now Immortals trying to push this payload around the corner.
There goes the Diva Bomb. It's going to push everyone back there. Muma gets the kill immediately onto Agilities too, and that's going to slow things down. Hype gets shut down, losing out on Diva. Now has to go back and probably get the, you know, just get remech'd. And for the time being, FNRGFE, a good defense here. 3 minutes left on the clock, so a lot of time for Immortals to play around with. But FNRGFE are getting ready for this next fight.
And you see how aggressive FNRGFE is being on defense. They're going to pull back now, just trying to do a little bit more damage, maybe catch one of the players from Immortals out of the spawn. So you know Buds did use his TAC Visor. We'll see Muma does have the Primal Rage, knock players back. You see Immortals try and engage. You know, maybe when Agilities uses that Dragon Blade, you're able to use Primal Rage, knock players back, but it's Muma who's able to take out Kareev at the beginning. He gets away with his life as well. You will lose the mech here from Coolmat, but still, it's a big pick. You're able to get Kareev out of the equation first. Now Agilities fall, so now when Kareev comes back off the spawn, now you still have to wait for Agilities here. It's FNRGFE getting some pickoffs here. They will just buy themselves a little bit more time.
And Muma, it's kind of, I guess he thought if he was like as still as a statue, Grim wouldn't see him. You know, joke's on him. But anyway, now they get their players back off of the spawn. See what they do here, as they have a lot to work with. They have some ults in their economy. It's all about how they use it, and they lose Kareev and Fate early now. That sound barrier will come through, but in the end, it doesn't even matter, to quote one of my favorite bands, because they're just going to go all the way back, push them to the spawn room. Goodbye, Immortals. Try again.
And you use that sound barrier. It looked like they were trying to keep Kareev alive or Fate, and they both fall. Then you use the sound barrier. It only connects to, you know, Verbo, obviously, Hyped, and Agilities, and you're still not able to get anything. But you do have Transcendence. You have Dragon Blade. FNRGFE, though, with both support ults. So we have seen teams get stalled out here underneath the bridge, Alex. It looks like that's what's happening here to Immortals, as they get on the payload, they move it up a little bit, but not able to get it past this underpass. Really start to make a, you know, really good presence towards the end of the map.
1 minute, 10 seconds remaining on the clock. You're right, X. They have to, you know, make their presence felt here. And there goes the Diva Bomb, dropping the pulse as well. Doesn't get a kill with it. TAC Visor is going to be out for Buds, as well as the Transcendence here, so that this way they can push forward, keep him alive. The beat has been dropped. They still don't have that sound barrier on the other side here for Immortals. And Agilities, though, he doesn't care. He doesn't need that. He's going to go in. He's going to pick up 2 on that one. D-Mech the Diva, and now they're getting so close. But they got to be cautious, though, about the spawns. And if you're FNRGFE, you got to get on the payload right now. He's going to get shut down. Clockwork, goodbye. And that's going to be 3 points. So you thought they were going to get stopped in the underpass, but Immortals, they were able to do it.
Yeah, they buy themselves some space. They launch in the self-destruct. They force some of the members of FNRGFE back. You're able to deem that Coolmat. That's when the both support ults come out for the side of FNRGFE. And Immortals just waits and waits and waits. Agility is able to get good use of the Dragon Blade.
And Buds was with the tack visor never really had an angle that I'm sure he would have liked to work with, right? You just got completely nullified on that. You burned those ults because out of necessity, you had to stay alive in the fight. And then, you know, for Immortals, they just took great advantage of that. When you have Agility just cutting through them into the back, that's when things get a little dicey.
We'll see if FNRGFE stays with this, but I would like to see Buds run the Pharah, and you have the Pharah Mercy combo yet again.
I agree.
No, because now on the defense for Immortals, you have Grim Reality running the 76. That prevents Agilities from using either your Genji or your Doomfist, where we've really seen him be like a star player. Because Tracer's so strong right now, you want her on your team somehow. So when you have Grim go over to 76, you lose Agility's ability to be able to play, whether it's the Genji or the Doomfist. So now you have him go over to Tracer, and we'll see if FNRGFE can exploit this.
Yeah, I would really like to see FNRGFE fly to the bridge.
Well, they're going to fly. As, you may not know that Pharah can fly. She uses her rockets to get in the sky.
I'm talking about
Mercy can go out there with her. So
with speed, Matthew, with speed, just go. I'm making this hand motion.
They can't see it at home, but it's more like a push instead of a go.
Yeah, sure. You just want to push. Anyway, there you go. Eat that banana. Oh no, sorry. Eat that.
Well, that's peanut butter.
I forget. Yes, forget. Although peanut butter and banana. It's a good crep. If you ever have it.
It's a good combo.
You're welcome, kids.
It's a good combo. Right up there with Pharah Mercy. Banana and peanut butter. So we see FNRGFE here on the attack. We'll see if Buds can put pressure on the high ground here. That's what they're going to be going for. As you see the push starting to form here.
And keep that Winston back as well. Don't really let him get that chance to go back into the action, though. And so they are going to get possession of up top. And, Immortals kind of concede that point. They recognize that they really won't be able to go toe-to-toe with the Pharah in the sky. But now they're going to just go right into the action here and engage onto the point. Meanwhile, Buds continuing to just get that free farm. He's getting healed. Oh, I was saying he was getting healed up, but they just tore right through him. So not enough to be able to build onto that one. Bonnie is still going to be alive, does get cleaned out, and that will be a failed push from FNRGFE. Do you think they stick with this and go with it again?
I think they do. I think they try it one more time. They were able to force Immortals off of the high ground, but Hype did a good job with the defense matrix, eating up a lot of the damage that Buds was putting down with the rockets. So we'll see. They're able to get one tick, though. See if FNRGFE can make this Pharah Mercy work yet again. You see how far away Immortals is playing here, but you see the defense matrix coming in. Now it's going to be the Transcendence, so Immortals is going to push onto the point.
And the Transcendence comes through to keep everyone sustained and alive in the fight. But Clockwork, along with Bud, just applying so much damage down low. And now if they are able to take out Hype, then that's going to give Buds to be able to just go around and get as many kills as he possibly can. They do manage to demech the Diva here. So let's see how much pressure Buds can apply. But it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to do all that much. Gets swept through there, and Immortals, well, they're doing a good job here on defense. Maybe this is, we didn't get to see it in the road game, but perhaps this is why Immortals, they want to go with this match.
Well, you can't see Buds really take advantage of Hype being demech because he loses his Mercy, and obviously he has to be close to Lucio to be able to get the healing, so Bud's not able to stay up in the sky, just get a lot of that free farm. But FNRGFE, they come into the next fight with a Rocket Barrage, with a Res and Sound Barrier. Immortals, they do have the tack visor and a sound barrier of their own. They put a lot of pressure on a Kareev here. They get him really weak.
Yeah, and Muma will get the kill onto Kareev. The weakened Transcendence not going to come out and play here. He's at 73%, so that certainly is going to hurt. But while all this is going on, Agilities picks up 2. There goes the res, though, to bring Boink and Clockwork back into the action now. Diva Bomb comes through, 2 for Hyped, as he wants to push folks back here. But FNRGFE will not stop. They're going to continue to add the pressure, force them back. They're getting close to capping this one out, and they make it happen. And now they could just go ahead and march the payload forward here.
Yeah, both teams used a sound barrier. It was a nice pulse bomb from Agilities. He connects with 2 on the side of FNRGFE. The only issue is Bonnie has res at that moment in time, brings both players back into the action. You never saw the tack visor come into play because Coolmat just stayed alive so long with that defense matrix. You would have wasted that ultimate ability as well.
Ends up shutting down any opportunity they would have to stop that push from FNRGFE, which would have been really painful for the Pharah to deal with. Now, on the approach, they're trying to just force him back, similar to what we saw FNRGFE do to Immortals, right? You do want to meet these these players around the bend. You don't want to let them have any kind of freedom to work with. And Clockwork with the pulse bomb landed on one of the tanks, ends up taking out Agilities as well. And now they're just going to get in their face, force them back, and they just have all the space to push the payload.
Yeah, now FNRGFE, I mean, they make some changes, right? Buds goes off of Farah, he goes to 76. Bonnie switches off of the Mercy, goes to Zenyatta. But it's Clockwork open things up with a pulse bomb. Everything else goes smooth for FNRGFE after that. They complete the second point. They're putting up a great time here, Alex. Now, Immortals has held on to some of these ultimates. Just wondering when they're going to start investing them. You still have Kareev with the Transcendence. You still have Grim Reality never uses the attack visor here, so he switches over to Tracer. So you never got any use of that attack visor, you know, from first point all the way through the second phase of the game.
And you think about it too, it's just one fight that gave them that second point. Transcendence comes out because Muma's going to dive right on top of them here, and I'm sure Immortals would have liked to use that at a better moment in the fight.
But you don't even take Muma out.
No, you don't. You don't take Muma out. He's out here causing a ruckus, right? You really don't get to respond to him. They continue to push payload forward as much as they can. They can, you know, disengage for a second, you know, chill out here because they lost out on Bonnie, so they will be able to have some support ults going into this next fight now. And it's getting dangerously close here. They have to be very cautious if you're Immortals. You just can't, one misplay and FNRGFE will make you punish.
Well, if you're FNRGFE, I think you just saw the Transcendence come out for Immortals. Kareev building up to it rather quickly, though. I think, you know, you have both your support ults. You're going to have a Pulse Bomb and Tac Visor. I think you see FNRGFE invest pretty heavy into this next fight.
I wonder where Bud's opts to go as well. Does he go on to the left and does he let Clockwork? Yeah. So if he lets Clockwork just rotate on the right, then he could pop the visor. And while all that craziness is going on, maybe Clockwork gets a sneaky pulse bomb onto one of the supports. But Agilities now with the Dragon Blade looking to stop that one. That's going to prompt them to have to use all of their support ults, FNRGFE, and Buds use the Tac Visor in defense. Clockwork and Coolmat now able to get themselves some kills. Members of Immortals are going to be hanging back, and they're getting dangerously close here to capping this.
If Immortals can get back to the cart, though, they will have Transcendence. They will have the sound barrier. It's going to be very close if they can make it. They barely get back to the payload.
Oh, man, I was having a little bit of a PTSD moment there. Shades of what happened in that Watchpoint Gibraltar fight that we happened to have watched last week. Now, though, D.Va self-destruct comes through. They do get themselves 2 kills, though. Grim Reality dancing around the payload, trying to keep his team in this fight, but they're just going to shred right through the health there. Right there, 0.2 meters, just a little bit, just a slither, and they will make it happen. And, I mean, they are able to do so. A last-ditch effort, a last-minute attempt from Immortals, but it just wasn't enough. 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the board here for FNRGFE, and Immortals. And surely weren't expecting that one, especially how that second point went. I mean, they just
that was the weirdest
them.
part of the game, where the second point, where FNRGFE, they unlocked the payload, they're moving through the streets. Immortals had one fight there. They didn't use some of their ultimates. They backed up, and then you saw, they never got a use of the Tac Visor. They switch off with the 76 to bring Tracer back into the equation. I think that's where you saw FNRGFE make up a lot of time, because Immortals, the first 2 or 3 pushes, they were able to hold on defense.
All right, well. Now Immortals on the attack have 1 minute to do so. One good push, they get right back into the fray with the payload, and then it becomes a game of progress there. But if they're not able to do so, well, I mean, FNRGFE has a lot of time to play with now.
If you're FNRGFE and you put a lot of your stock into Clockwork here, on the Tracer, if he's able to get one pick, right, if he's able to take out like Kareev or Fate, coming out of spawn, not like directly out of the spawn, but coming, closer, towards the point.
Just gets on
at the beginning, just gets on the flank. I mean, that is, he
all
gets
it takes is one pick.
He gets that one kill. Yeah, it's pretty much a game. So, well, you will see Immortals attack here. Just 1 minute to go. We'll see if they can make anything happen.
Look for those early picks. Whoever's able to get that first kill will certainly have the upper hand here in the fight. But if it is Immortals who ends up losing a player early, well, guess what? That could spell bad news, actually. It could be really, really bad for Immortals to deal with. And they just need to be able to keep one of their, both of their supports really alive onto this one. Hype is going to force people back there. And now they won't be able to support their teammates, so maybe this is the opportunity that we're looking for, right? Take Muma out of the equation, and Muma's dangerously close to dying as he dived right into the action. And he gets shut down, so that first pick goes on the side of Immortals. So far, so good. Agility's into the back line now. If he can get a couple kills here on the supports, This could be bad for FNRGFE to have to deal with. You also have your D.Va just getting shot left, right, center, above, everywhere. That mech was taking all the damage, but they don't have a lot of time to work with. And now it's now or never. They got to make this one happen. So close. It is being contested. They have to keep Muma alive. They get off it for a moment there, because if they didn't, they were going to die, and that's going to give them a fourth point.
Fate with the Primal Rage just starts knocking players back, so that allows Immortals to take the payload. Now we'll see how much progress they can make. FNRGFE, they use their nano boost, they give it to Muma. They're also going to use their attack visor here as they push right onto the cart. Muma will get hit with a pulse bomb, able to survive it for a little bit. But Coolmat takes out agilities. Kareev now going to use the Transcendence as he knows, the Immortals needs to make this push happen. They need to extend this game just a little bit more, and it looks like they're doing it.
Yeah, they have to hug the payload the entire time. Keep a body by there, at the very least, just play as a unit around that payload. You know the FNRGFE will dive onto it and try and exploit, any potential openings there that would be provided by Immortals. But Immortals, this is good. Now, here's the thing. They can't let what happened to Watchpoint Gibraltar. You got to keep someone on that payload the entire time, or else I don't know. I don't even know what to think at that point.
They made fantastic progress here, though, right? Immortals in overtime, pushing the payload down the streets phase. Bonnie switches off of Ana. He's going to go with Zenyatta. Coolmat, could open up with that D.Va self-destruct, try and force some players off of the cart. It'll be a self-destruct coming out from height, plus the sound barrier. Agility, so goes all the way into the back. He's able to take out Bonnie.
Coolmat will be in a world of hurt in the back as well. And look at Grim Reality, right? Dessa talked about it before. He likes to play a more of a passive game, but he's been playing the aggression up this time around. Has a pulse bomb to work with. They got to get back on the point. It's dangerously close to ending the round here, but still, though, they are right there from being able to get that 5th point on the board. There are going to be members of FNRGFE swarming around the tanks here for Immortals. And so far, for FNRGFE, this is looking good. You just don't want to let them have that, the opportunity to get back into the action, give them a 5th point. The spawn is going to be really close by here, though, for Immortals, so they can respond in turn, get back into the action very quickly here, X.
Kareev getting very close to Transcendence, though, at 90% and counting right now. He's so weak. But players for Immortals staying on the payload. You're going to keep extending this game. Kareev does fall. You'll not get the Transcendence here, but looks like Immortals will be able to take the next point. That'll be 5 for them here on Numbani. As FNRGFE, you have your sound barrier here. That's really just about it. Bud's not close to attack visor. Immortals, you do have the Transcendence to stay alive on the cart. Then you also have agilities with that Dragon Blade to go through the backline.
This has just not been a good defensive hold for FNRGFE. They do finally get the kill. The Transcendence comes out just to let them be able to push this payload a little bit more. Any progress gained is a win in their book. And there goes the beat. Verbo now just looking to go right back into the fray, and here's the Transcendence. Is this going to be the one that shuts things down here, forcing the players out? Coolmat gets a double kill. That's going to shut things down, but still, Immortals get 5 points in that run. Very well done.
We'll never know, though. I mean, Agility is never able to use that Dragon Blade there. He drops at the beginning of that fight. You use the support ults to maybe extend it, so when he comes off of the spawn, no, obviously you need to extend it because you're in overtime, but also because if Agilities can get back into the fight with the Dragon Blade, who knows the damage that he could have caused. You see the golden box of victory there for FNRGFE. It's a fantastic attack there for Immortals. Remember, they only had a minute on the clock. They're able to move the payload so far down the map. Puts a lot of pressure on FNRGFE here. I think the most interesting thing here going on to the offensive side for FNRGFE is whether they go with that Far Mercy combo yet again.
I mean, talk about, giving an inch, take a mile. Immortals, 1 minute, and they get 2 points. So Numbani looking pretty good for Immortals thus far. Now FNRGFE on the attack, you mentioned it. They go with the Far Mercy here. I mean, it, worked out last time. It took them, what, 2, 3-ish pushes, I believe, to make that cap happen?
Yeah, I think it was about 3. And I think what you saw there from Immortals is what probably makes some fans kind of frustrated with their play so far this season, because you see the potential they have, right? When they get things going, they're able to roll right there. They make a ton of progress, only a minute to go. We'll see now if their defense can be strong. You have Grim Reality on the 76 agilities on Tracer, so not going to see him on the Genji or the Doomfist here on defense. We'll see if they expect this Far Mercy combo to be coming around the corner.
Yeah, and also they have Kareev on the Zenyatta instead of, bringing the Ana out there, which means that Well, for one, you just want to be able to sustain onto the point, and that's what the Transcendence is going to do. And, you know, they could get some more targeting onto Buds with the Pharah because he's going to be sailing in the sky here, but they're pushing him back right now. Oh, man. Taking out Kariv early on in the fight, not letting him be an impact in this game, and now Grim Reality just caught with his pants down. And this will be FNRGFE gaining a lot of control and a lot of progress on point A.
You still have agilities here, just contesting for a little bit. Still buying Immortals some time.
Second tick gained.
We'll see if Immortals tries to get back into this. And it looks like they're going to come around the corner. They're going to contest yet again.
Right at the nick of time, but they have to be very careful not to get pushed off of this one. They're going to have agilities. He will have himself a... Ooh. There goes the barrage. I was going to say Agility is also going to have a pulse bomb here too, so perhaps he could just stop, you know, one of the tanks here. Coolmat's going to go down as well, and they are right there for being able to make this cap happen, but it seems like they might be able to make this stop. A Reality, Immortals holding it down, and they get the clear. And now FNRGFE have less than a minute to work with.
And that's all set up by Agilities, who was able to contest for a little bit, stay alive on the Tracer, then his teammates come around the corner. And once you got Bonnie out of the equation, you knew the res wasn't going to come in. You knew that they weren't going to invest the sound barrier into the fight. So now 30 seconds left. FNRGFE, they have to get the payload here, then they have to make a ton of progress. And I think Immortals also, knowing how much progress you made, you don't mind challenging here, wasting some of the ultimates on the side of FNRGFE. The Immortals opening things up with their own sound barrier here as they also build up towards the Transcendence. They got to get Bonnie, though. You can't let him get off a big res.
Yeah, that resurrection will be key. Let's see how this one plays out, unless they're able to kill Bonnie early on. There goes the res. They get the cap, though, at the last second. Transcendence is out as well to keep them alive in the fight now. And we're going to be in overtime. So similarly to what we saw before, FNRGFE need to hug the payload. They have to keep a body by it at all times. Can they one-up their opponents and get those points on the board? And look at this, though. FNRGFE, they're clearing them back, forcing them away. But Immortals, they were trying to contest that for as long as they possibly could here. Now it's time to see how Immortals are going to respond on defense.
Well, now Immortals is not going to have either of their support ults, so seemed like they didn't expect the point to get capped by FNRGFE, so they decided to use their Transcendence there. So you're not going to have Transcendence, you're not going to have Sound Barrier here. Coming into the Streets phase, you see they do make some adjustments. Grim Reality will go over to Tracer, Agilities will bring out the Genji. You know that just one fight they need to win. You will not see a support ult from the side of FNRGFE either.
That's going to slow the push,
only thing
too.
for either teams is going to be Clockwork's Pulse Bomb, but you cannot lose Kariv in this type of situation that early.
Yeah.
Now you're going to put a lot of pressure on one of your players. It's really going to be on a Grim Reality to get back towards the cart to maybe contest it. If not, you're really playing like a one-fight game here towards the end.
They got to go in and dive. They got to contest this right away. And Clockwork, he saw an opening, but I think he just decided not to go for it there. Instead, figured, let me go ahead and support my teammates around the payload and see if we could take out some of these tanks so we don't have to deal with them and then get this second point, because they're dangerously close from being able to accomplish that goal. There goes the pulse bomb, drops it down. Does he get anything for it? Well, what ends up happening is they're just causing a lot of damage there onto Immortals, but Immortals are able to hold off there. Kills are traded on each side. Burbo's able to demech. Cool Mat on that one. Clockwork just absolutely shredding with the Tracer. And now they're right there. They get the cap. Now we're at 5 points, and it's all about getting to the golden box of victory.
You did see FNRGFE invest both support ults to get the payload, past this moment. You see the golden box of victory, though. Whether the question is, will Immortals get back? They'll have the sound barrier. They'll have Dragon Blade. They have a lot of tools.
They have a Diva
Just
Bomb
whether
too.
they can get back towards the point. Looks like Fate coming around the corner. Grim Reality will get a touch, so he'll extend this game.
Oh, it's going to take a lot here for FNRGFE to get the win. There goes the Diva Bomb, forcing folks back. Agilities with a triple kill. Hype follows it up as well, clearing the board. FNRGFE's last standing hope was Clockwork, wiped out, and they get the win. Immortals and FNRGFE are tied up 1-1.
Yeah, and when they trying to get that second point through the Streets phase, they use both their Transcendence and their Sound Barrier. You probably, at that point, there was only like 2 or 3 players. I think it was only like 2, and then I think you had the Diva out of mech on the cart for Immortals. You probably did not need both of those support ults to move it on forward. Then Agilities has the Dragon Blade. You have the support ults of your own. You're able to close the game out.
Yeah, and them contesting on that second point wasted so much, as you had mentioned, X. Going into that one, just nothing that they could work with. And it really was going to come down to a huge misplay from Immortals there. And I'm very glad that that was not the case, because we've seen Immortals misplay some things in the past. And you'd mentioned it before. You said, like, this is, if you're an Immortals fan, you're a little frustrated because you see the potential of this team. Yeah, right?
I mean, you see the potential that they have, like such a talented roster. It's just whether they can put things together consistently or not. We haven't seen it so far during Season 1, but you're seeing glimpses of it today.
Yeah, well, guys, knotted up 1-1. This series has certainly been one to watch. FNRGFE versus Immortals continues. The desk are going to break everything down after this.